Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and especially Sophia. Wow, 10 stars. You are such an agreeable Toastmaster. You took the stage. You were standing. Your shoulders were back. You were smiling ear to ear. You had your microphone on. You had your lights. You thought of every detail a professional, seasoned speaker would look for. And this was your second or third speech, maybe, if I have that right. The first word I would think about when I think about you is happy. You always show up happy and ready to give your best self to the whole club and everyone that you engage with, both online and in person. And that happiness, it really shined through in this speech. I often mentor people, and when they get nervous, they don't smile. And not smiling, for all of us as a tip, is not just that you're nervous, but it can also seem that you don't like the person, you're aggressive. It could give off all these different things that we don't think we're giving off. We might just not be smiling because we're nervous, but we should all keep in mind that we should all plaster on a smile like Sophia because it works and it puts everybody at ease. Your title was amazing. That was probably my favorite thing. I spend more time on my titles than I do on my content because I tell stories. And what's really, really impressive with this title is you did a rhyme. Don't explode, just decode. And one thing professional speakers do is they repeat their message often. Out of a whole speech, your audience is probably going to remember what you said first, something you said in the middle, a story, and your last line. So the fact that you had the awareness to repeat that multiple times in your speech, bravo. Goals. Your personal goals were to encourage everyone to have their own toolbox when it comes to managing big emotions. I wish you would have maybe dove a little bit more into the big emotions, because I find that in business especially, emotional intelligence is kind of thrown out there, but we don't really deep dive into it enough. And I loved that you brought up big emotions in this speech. Learn to decode emotions, avoid explosive reactions was your second goal. Again, you nailed that one. You went in, you gave us really funny examples of explosive reactions and your personal experience that brought a chuckle for people, got the audience laughing, and it made the audience even more agreeable with you because they could probably imagine an explosive reaction they may have had in the past. For your consideration, I really just don't have a lot here. I want us all to applaud you for that speech because it was just fantastic. But if I had to say something for your consideration, to take that speech from an A to an A plus, you might want to consider on your vocal range. When you were changing register for those characters, like your son, you may have just done a little bit more of the deeper voice or a little bit more voice change in register, but your emotions and gestures were spot on with those. So that's just a tiny point. And the second one was eye contact. Another point for all of us, you nailed it looking right to camera, but we can get a little deer in the headlight. So consider looking around just a tiny bit to break that focal gaze. But otherwise, just be so proud of yourself today. You did a fantastic job, and I wish you would have competed in the inspirational speech. I'm going to catch you next year. Madam Toastmaster.